Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone, and welcome to Business Mirror's Freshly Brewed, a spin off of Coffee Club. Freshly Brewed will feature the latest business trends. If we find something interesting, we might even dabble into the lifestyle and even entertainment trends. For today's edition of Freshly Brewed, our guest is the Chief Marketing Officer of a company that offers buy now, pay later schemes. To tell us more about home credit and what they have to offer, here is Ms. Sheila Paul, the Chief Marketing Officer of Home Credit. Good morning, Ms. Sheila.
Good morning, Anne, and thank you so much for inviting us today.
Okay. Before we start talking about home credit, please tell us something about yourself, Ms. Sheila.
As you mentioned, I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Home Credit in the Philippines. I've been actually around doing marketing for products in emerging markets over the past 20 years. This is actually my first foray into the financial services space.
Uh-huh.
So I've been here a year, and I think it's the right time to be in this industry, especially with the growing need for fintech services. And we can see that really the adoption has grown in the Philippines, especially because of the pandemic.
Okay. Can you tell us something about the buy now, pay later industry here in the Philippines? The
Yeah,
term has
so
become a buzzword, as you said earlier.
actually, it's very interesting how this BNPL term or abbreviation has become quite popular through this pandemic. But actually, in the Philippines or even around the world, it's not really new. Buy now, pay later has been part of the way that we actually pay and purchase things ever since the advent of credit cards, when of course installment payments became available. And in
Mhm.
fact, the credit cards before even became more aggressive by offering, let's say, 0% installment at certain times. However, the challenge in the Philippines is that the credit cards are really issued to people with bank accounts. And
Mhm.
as we know, according to the BSP, only 2 or 3 out of 10 people of adults in the Philippines have bank accounts. So there's really a large unbanked sector in the Philippines who don't have access to credit cards, or don't have access to being able to buy now and pay later for
Mhm.
their most important and big transactions which they need. So far it's been limited to people with little or no with actually a credit history.
Okay. So, what changed in terms of the industry during the pandemic?
Definitely, a lot of companies have recognized that this has been a trend ongoing, and that there's really a large portion of the market that is underserved. So you can see the influx of other fintech companies taking advantage of this by offering installment plans with little to 0% interest over a fixed number of months in order for you to pay for things. And it's not only limited to products and commodities; it could even be to bills and other everyday services.
Mhm. Okay. So, how did home credit take part in this emerging trend?
Yeah. So I would say that even before this, it became a trend, because of this pandemic. We've already been around providing the buy now, pay later services.
Mhm.
We have actually been in the Philippines since 2013. And you can, before the pandemic, when everyone was into malling, you could definitely recognize us because we have SAs or sales agents nationwide offering the buy now pay later at the point of sale. So if you're out buying a refrigerator, a mobile phone, a sofa, and you don't have a credit card, you can still take advantage of home credits installment plans by just submitting very very simple requirements, two valid IDs, and within a 1 minute approval period, we can actually give you credit or installment to be able to pay for your purchase.
Okay. I understand you also need the down payment. Is that correct for the
Yes.
items that you will purchase?
Yes, that's correct. So the down payment can extend anywhere from 0 to 30%. So it depends on the agreement that we've had with our partner retailer or the partner brand. But we have some flexible down payments as well.
Okay. Well, since during the pandemic, all the malls were closed. So how did home credit make itself felt during this period?
I think we were lucky actually that we had our My Home Credit app as part of the ecosystem. So in the beginning, it started simply as a self-service tool. So you could use it to track your payments, to see when your installment was due, to make those kinds of computations, and to do customer service.
Mm-hmm.
But before, we were already thinking a little bit ahead, even before the pandemic happened, of how to make this home credit app even more useful to our customers. And so, what's great is that now we've really tried to make sure that this is something that every customer can use. We have uh, over 8 million downloads on the Google Play Store. We're already working on our iOS version. And it's not only a self service tool now, there are several other features. So, with the My Home Credit app, you can do payments, for example, bill payments like your Meralco bill, your cable bills, your all other postpaid bills can also be settled via the app. Super important for people who don't want to leave the house anymore. You can
Mm-hmm.
also buy load, and with any of the telco partners, we're actually offering a 5% discount. And all of this is like you pay the bill on the app using one of our payment functions, and you can still pay later. And I think one of the biggest traffic generators of our home credit app is our marketplace feature. So what we did, because people could not go to the malls, is that we kind of brought the malls into our app. So all the partner stores, we have over 9,000 nationwide. What we did was we took the most popular, highly trafficked stores. We put their products on the app. And for example, let's say, let me give a case. You're looking for a refrigerator or particular refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
In the My Home Credit app, you can see actually where this refrigerator is available across maybe 3 or 4 retail stores in your area. And
Okay.
then you can even compare prices because, of course, each store might have a different promotion. So you can see which is the best price, which is nearest to your area, and then you can get pre-approved for a loan. So again, with submitting the two valid IDs, you already know whether you can actually walk away with this refrigerator, and all is left is for you to go to the store to do a final step with our sales agent and to pick up your refrigerator. So that's kind of how it works.
Okay. So this marketplace, all the items that you need in the house will be there. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so marketplace, we started of course with our our most popular commodity would obviously be the mobile phones, because that's really how we got kind of well known in the Philippines, because we were financing mobile phones. But we
Mm-hmm.
saw that this is not, I mean, especially with the advent of work from home and online schooling, we already have laptops there, we have tablets, and then for the people doing online businesses, we have, kitchen appliances, we have furniture. Maraming nag-improve ng bahay nila during the pandemic, so we also
Mm-hmm.
made it available to them. We even have other sporting goods as well as bikes. Bikes became such a huge commodity for us during this
Mm-hmm.
time, because a lot of people were really seeing the value of bikes, and especially with all the bike lanes around the city already.
Okay. How was the usage of the app during the pandemic? During ECQ, for example, how was it?
I think that a lot of people were really browsing on the app. On average, in a month, we get about 2 million people browsing and using the features on the app. And again, as I mentioned, the most popular would be the marketplace feature, probably because they want to look at the commodities that they need without having
Mm-hmm.
to go out. And then definitely the loading. People realize they don't have to go to any kind of physical store nearby to
Mm-hmm.
buy load anymore. All you have to do is use it on the mobile app. And again, we're giving about out 5%. It's actually the I would say the most attractive offer in terms of load now. Wala na masyadong nagbibigay ng discount on load. And you get the discount on load, and still you can pay later. So right now the feature is available for everyone who has a home credit card who has the app. But eventually this feature will be available to many more people who have the My Home Credit app.
Nice. Okay. What other features does it have? So you can pay your bills. Can you also transfer money as well?
Not yet, because we
Not
don't
yet.
have the deposit feature, so we don't have a bank yet. But definitely, it's really the paying the bills, the buying the load.
Okay.
Another feature would also be because we do have a very good retail network. we have started working with them to drive people to the stores by offering discounts. So
Okay.
right now, using something called a Smile Discounts catalog, you can actually see discounts on the app. So for example, you would get, let's say, 10% off at Cold Stone Creamery or Potato Corner, or
Uh-huh.
even other like apparel like Vans, Vans shoes, etc. And for this one, you don't even need to be a home credit customer. Anyone who downloads the app and avails of the Smile discounts through our mobile app can definitely do that. All you have to do is scan a special QR that we've issued to our partner stores, and that's the way that you can enjoy this feature. I also wanted to mention actually one of the things that which is the QR. Right? So QR suddenly became super popular during the pandemic.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Everyone suddenly knows how to use a QR. And it's not only from payments, also restaurant menus, etc., are being displayed now on QR. So definitely, this is something that people have been educated about. So
Mm-hmm.
home credit was actually one of the first to be able to enable contactless payments. So if you have a home credit card, you don't even need to bring your physical card. You can just use the mobile app, open the QR scanner, and scan our QR at the store, and then you can already use this to pay your purchase. So it's like a contactless credit card that we've made possible. And I think I was just gonna I wanted to mention that this is going to be an even more popular feature probably later in the year or early next year, especially as the BSP has been promoting this standardized Philippines QR.
Yes.
One QR that rules them all. So we're actually going to be part of that. So now you can use your My Home Credit app to scan at over 70 to 100,000 merchants that will have the standardized PHQR. So that's coming down in the pipeline.
I see. Okay. Just going back to the app, ma'am. So in other words, the app also your marketplace. It also offers other items
Mm-hmm.
other
Yes.
than appliances and the
Yeah.
usual that we see in the appliance store. So you also already widen your range of items on the in the marketplace.
Yes, so we have the mobiles, tablets, furniture,
I said,
the white goods, refrigerators, etc. There are also
mhm,
accessories, for example, the Bluetooth earphones, and then, as I mentioned, bikes and sporting goods are also there.
okay.
And it's actually quite similar to how e-commerce works now. That if you explore and browse through the marketplace, you'll find a lot of good deals there. Some of them will have freebies, some will have bundles. So it's really if people who are really into online shopping, it's really a time. It takes some time, to go through all these SKUs in the catalog, but definitely very engaging, and it's all beneficial to the customer. And what's good there is that that you don't have to pay it up. You don't have to pay it all up front. As long as it's on our catalog, then you can buy it on installment, and
Mm-hmm.
of course that it's legit because we're working with brick and mortar and big brand retail partners, and to be able to deliver these products.
Okay. Responsible shopping is very important, especially with the financial uncertainty looming over all of us. How do you address that, considering that you are also a financial service company?
Yeah, so ever since our main advocacy has really been to improve financial literacy for our
Mm.
customers. As we know, the word credit or
Mm-hmm.
utang or loan may be threatening to people.
Yeah.
But actually, if they know how to manage well their credit, how to also balance, savings versus expenses, then
Mm-hmm.
definitely this is a way for them to kind of move up in terms of their financial status. So what's good about home credit is that although maybe banks might be more, what do you call this, have much more requirements in order for you to open an account or get a loan, etc. We have very simple requirements, but with that we are helping you build your credit history. So as long as you pay on time, as long as you're a responsible uh, uh, what's this, loaner, like we're a responsible lender, then we're helping you build your credit history so that eventually you can move on to bigger things. Maybe you want to get housing, car loan, etc. All of this, our credit information gets passed on as well to the rest of the people who are enjoying credit. And for me, it's also not all about not all about loaning. No, it's also about we also don't want people to loan without having kumbaga, something in their bank account or something in their savings. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely we utilize our platforms, our mobile app, our social media, our websites in order to educate the people about the value of saving, what it
Mm-hmm.
means to recognize whether a lender is responsible, not to be fooled by scams. So all of this, we're actually putting it under a program which we call digitized or digital education.
Okay.
And there are three pillars there. We want them to know the basics of savings and expenses. We also want them to learn how to use digital financial tools. And the third one is, of course, we want them to be protected from frauds or scams because with online, that has kind of
Yes.
been quite common these days.
Can you tell us more about that, ma'am? Because, well, everyone's very concerned about cybersecurity nowadays since almost everyone is already online.
Yeah. So definitely we work together, especially with the regulators, in order to ensure that if you transact with us, it's a safe transaction. So all our information is encrypted,
Okay.
and we do not proceed with any transaction unless we give we send an one-time PIN or OTP to
Mm-hmm.
your mobile phone. So any transaction, whether you're buying load or paying a bill, or doing other transactions with us, those are all protected by an OTP. So the basic thing we can encourage people to is self protection. Don't lend out your account and password. Don't give out your account information. We will not ask for your OTP. We will not ask for your password or PIN. And definitely, they have to be a bit recognize a little bit, no, that if they get calls or anything from people claiming to be whatever bank or whatever financial institution, they have to make sure that they do not release any kind of sensitive information unless they're able to confirm that this is really an authorized person by the financial institution.
Okay. I see some questions coming in already. So let's
Mhm.
start with some of them. Here's from Maricel Valdez Davad. Who owns Home Credit Philippines?
Okay, so Home Credit Philippines is actually it's majority owned by a Czech company. It's one of it's part of a big company in Eastern Europe under the PPF group. So it's not only the group also holds besides Home Credit. They have banks, telecom companies, media companies. So it's quite a big conglomerate. So in the Philippines, we are actually a combination of Czech and Philippine management.
Oh, okay. And then another same, also from Maricel. How do you evaluate a borrower's credit worthiness?
Yeah, so it depends on the information that we're able to get from the IDs, etc., that you provide us. So what we've done technology wise is connect to a lot of big data sources. So ano bang ibig sabihin nun? So there's a bunch of sources that we get from. It could be what we recognize as telco data. Let's say how you use how much you load, for example, on your prepaid could be part of the data point. It could be other, your activities with other, payments that you're doing. And actually, all of that comes into this magic algorithm that I don't know how to explain, but within 1 minute, we can actually return a result to you based on all these other sources, not
Okay.
necessarily not just the credit bureau, but we're also connected to the Philippines Credit Bureau as well.
Okay. So see, Maricel also has another question, pero similar din kay Sari Osorio. How do you deal with delinquent borrowers?
Yeah. So we know that for many of our borrowers, it's going to be the first time that it's the first time they borrowed. So perhaps they're not used to due dates or
Mm-hmm.
nalimutan nila yung kanilang due date, etc. So we actually send quite a number of reminders right before the first due date.
Mm-hmm.
And we also make follow-ups if, a due date has passed. So normally, of course, as with any other financial company that's lending money, there would be penalties or interest whenever you become delinquent. So normally, those really kick into place if you look at your mobile app and you see a due date has passed. The penalties and the interest come into that. So hopefully, that will help kind of educate people that it's better to pay on time,
Uh-huh.
and definitely we try to as much as possible also understand the situation when that happens. I remember last year, of course, during the pandemic, a lot of people, I would not say a lot, but a bunch of
Mm,
people, could not make their payments because of the economic situation. So
yes.
we have, of course, implemented the bayanihan or the payment holidays as mandated by the government. But beyond that, we actually work together with our customers to be able to understand their situation better and agree on repayments. If and be a bit more flexible. So all our requests lang naman to our customers. If you know you're not gonna make a payment, or if you pass the payment, it's better that we talk to each other rather
Okay.
than diba? Rather than let the matter go and then it just becomes bigger.
How are the payments made, ma'am? Is it also through, we can do it online as well, or do you have to go to, no, to the payment
Yes.
centers?
So right now we're connected with like over 10,000 payment points, including,
Okay.
of course, the e-wallets, let's say GCash or Paymaya, or any of the, Bayad, or, all of these, Cebuana, etc. So, and of course, online banking or automatic debit is our favorite. If you sign up with us with an
Okay.
automatic debit arrangement, that's even better for us. So we both don't have to worry about payment means.
Okay. I have a comment here from Dennis Guevara. Sana magkaroon ng madaming available na home credit for bikes sa Las Piñas, puro cash basis.
Meron. If you come to our marketplace, you will find already some bikes there. I actually bought my bike to one of the home credit partners kasi uso na nga talaga yung bike ngayon.
Okay. Alam mo na yan, Dennis, ha? Okay, see another question from Aldwin. Home credit is very visible in stores inside the malls. How has this strategy helped the company in spreading awareness? Are there clients who avail on the spot?
Definitely. Actually, this is really instrumental in the growth of home credit. We have the biggest distribution network among any of the BNPL companies anywhere. So, uh, uh, for sure, this has really helped in the awareness. And actually, if you come into sometimes it's really an impulse purchase. You come into the
Yes,
store, you're
yes,
thinking
true.
like, I wasn't supposed to buy this, pero sayang naman, it's 0% installment on home credit. I'm gonna buy it today. So definitely this is happening a lot.
Okay, that's good. And I have another one here. This one from Mags. How do you ensure data privacy for every transaction?
Okay. So Mags, we are definitely working together again with our tech team to ensure that every transaction is encrypted. And we have very, very strict actually data privacy policies, even internally. I will tell you as an employee, I don't even have a hard drive, or I cannot even stick a USB into my laptop because that's how much we value, the transfer of data, even in the workplace. So all our transactions are covered by an OTP in case that it entails you for you to give shell out money, etc. So again, the tip is that let's make sure that we're not sharing our password, OTP, or account to anyone,
Yes.
so that we're sure that it doesn't leak in a bad way.
Okay. I think you understand answered this earlier. From Edwin Salyan, did you give a grace period, lowered interest rates, or payment moratorium to borrowers when the pandemic struck?
Okay, hi Edwin. Kilala ko siya. Anyways, yes, we actually implemented the Bayanihan 1 and 2. So we gave a grace period. I think it was 60 days during the first Bayanihan and 30 days
Okay.
during the second Bayanihan. We did
Mhm.
not give lowered interest rates because we already had existing deals. We had a lot of 0% interest deals available.
Okay.
in the market. Right, I think it was just only those two that we did. But internally, of course, as I mentioned, we do have other flexible means if really you cannot handle the situation. But again, we encourage just people to just talk to us,
Mm-hmm.
or as much as possible, pay the bills on time, because then it will really have a positive impact on your credit scoring in the future.
Okay. May comment na naman si Dennis. Yeah. Kanino kami dapat mag-complain sa mga personnel na may pagkabastos sa phone kung maningil?
Okay. This is really not something we do not tolerate in home credit. So please call our customer support hotline. Apologies, I don't have it right now, but you can check our website. You can also check our website if you feel you're not getting the right attention from from, let's say, the phone, or let's say our Facebook, because we also answer messages there. There is an
Mm-hmm.
official email that we direct for what's this, parang office of the chief operating officer, I believe. I do not remember again the exact email address, but please, we do not tolerate yung mga bastos na naniningil, so let us know if that happens.
Okay. So, from si Carlo Abalos, paano po mag-download sa mga ipon user? iPhones pala. Sorry. Hindi ako pa
iPhone.
available dito, ma'am. You mentioned it kanina. Sorry, iPhone kasi.
Akala ko may nag-iipon. Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
Oo nga. Sorry, we do not have iPhone app available right now, but please watch
Okay.
out because it will be available before the end of the year.
Okay.
Or I think by the first quarter, the iPhone app will be available.
Okay, sige. Thank you. And so, how do you see 2021 ending for home credit, Ms.
Um,
Sheila?
So I think actually we're seeing a very positive trend for 2021. We with the we already see, well, we always base it now on the COVID stats. The COVID stats are
Yes,
little bit
yes.
calming down a little bit, especially like let's say Metro Manila was alert level 3.
Yep.
But even the provinces who were not affected, we were actually seeing a lot of growth there. There's a lot of growth for us in the Mindanao area as well, where
Uh-huh.
we're relatively new. And we see the sales are being on an uptrend. I think
Mhm.
Christmas will be a big season, not only for home credit but for everyone. I think
Mhm.
we're just wanting to celebrate already. Hopefully the end of the pandemic in sight. So I definitely watch out. We will have a lot of promotions for the holiday season. And we also have a new product that's launching in the market. As I
Okay.
mentioned before, the pay bills and buy load was only available to our credit card users, but we're
Mhm.
going to start to give what's this, a spending limit to all new home credit customers starting, I believe, in the next few weeks. So, for
Mhm.
example, if you loan from us like a phone or what's it, a sofa,
Uh-huh.
uh, most of the people will be getting an additional limit on their phone. Let's say on the mobile app, let's say 5 or 10,000 pesos, and you
Okay.
can use that to start transacting on the load, the bills, and also the contactless transactions. We call this product Quarta. Starts with a Q instead of a K.
Port.
So that's a new feature of the My Home Credit app,
Okay.
that you can use an extra spending limit in order to settle bills by load or do contactless transactions using a QR.
Okay. And how much percentage do you charge? What's the
Um, the
interest rate for
percentage
this?
is going to be 4% a month, I believe. But of course, it's on a per day basis, no. So, for example, you decide that you wanted to just not pay this for the next 5 days, then it will be prorated with the 4%, something like that.
Okay. And what other, what can we also expect from home credit for next year?
Next year, I think that it's going to be really a lot more. As I mentioned, the iPhone app is going to be up and running. We will see that marketplace will be bigger, more and more commodities. Physical store wise, we actually already have the buy now, pay later available even for beauty. As in yung mga derma-derma, yung mga ganyan, pati optical, meron kami. So
Mm-hmm.
eyeglasses, etc. So it's not only for gadgets. So those are the ones that are going to be coming into the app
Mm-hmm.
soon. We also even have what we call basket financing at some home stores. Eventually, it will be for apparel, etc. So we're really, really expanding our available commodities on BNPL, and that's what you're gonna see more of for home credit next year. And as I mentioned, Quarta, I think it will be a very good what's this an excellent product for people to use because if you don't have the cash on hand right now or ayaw mo mag-withdraw sa ATM, all you need is the My Home Credit app to be able to go and pay at any place with a QR.
Okay. So if I download the home credit app now, so I'll be already given a credit limit. Ganun po ba yun?
No, you have to
I
you
still
have
have
to
to make
be one
a
of
purchase.
avail of one of our loans first,
Okay.
and then you'll be given the additional limit.
Okay. Sige po. With that, would you like to give your closing message, ma'am, before
Uh,
you go?
Yeah, okay. So again, thank you so much, Anne and Business Mirror for inviting Home Credit. We're very excited with all the changes as well as the dynamic space on BNPL. And definitely, I think Home Credit, kilala nyo siya for being like your gadget installment partner. But
Mm-hmm.
starting next year, we're really going to be actually starting now. We're already expanding so much more, being an everyday financial partner that you can use not only for loans but also for payments as well as discounts. So hope you can check out our app on the Google Play Store and find out how you can take advantage.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Sheila, for your time. And I'd like to say thank you to our team this morning. Thank you to our audience. Shout out to Bernard, Testa, Marky Almazora, Grace Rojero, Aravela, Bam Asarcon, Edna Fernandez, Maricel Davat, Ivy Johnson, Mag Santos, Edwin Salian, Jonathan Enriquez, Dennis Guevara, si Jerry Malacat, Carlo Abalos, Alvin Tolosa, and Millet of Advertising. We'll see you again soon for our next edition of Freshly Brewed. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Sheila. Have a nice day.
You too.